Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan in the studio's Saturday edition. Thank you so much for being with us. Always happy to start off my weekend with you guys. Again, April can't be here. As always, we got our we call him Little Man Isaac Coleman. Just hit 2 months the other day. Time is flying. So she's got her hands full and helping me at home and the office. So looks like I'm solo in the studios with Daniel, my producer here. So we'll be doing these for the next couple weeks. But hopefully we can get April back in the studio. And I love her companionship on doing these radio shows. We always talk about it. I don't know how these guys that you listen to talk radio all the time and you listen to them and then they just can go on for hours and hours. And that is not me. We struggle to do a 30-minute section, so we're happy with that. I know one of my reps was reaching out to us and said, Ryan, you've got an opportunity to do a whole hour. I said, there is no way. You want me on there for a whole hour. Can't do it. And but enjoy being with you guys 30 minutes every weekend. Every week, if you're tuning in for the first time, we try to give you the up-to-date information in the real estate market here in East Tennessee. We're Vols. We're back here in your hometown. That's why we call Hometown Realty, trying to give you the up-to-date information. And today, we've got a really good show for you. We're talking about new construction. So as spring is coming around and the market is upon us, we have that opportunity of new construction. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of new construction. Do I go with a resale? Do we go with new construction? Some good tips. We're going to talk about that. And then on the second half, we'll talk more about inspections. And is the price negotiable? We'll talk all about that and some myths and debunk some myths during that show. I want to go over some news, information in the market today. One thing I've been thinking about on the radio show, and we try to give good content, is I want to get away from the news media. I don't want to talk about a word or something that's out there or something going on. I believe ultimately you're going to get what you put out. And the more power that we give to anything that we say, whether it's negative or anything like that, I believe that comes back. So we're going to speak nothing but positive vibes here with Real Estate with Ryan. We're going to talk about things as normal, what we're doing, how we're doing things, and what we can do to help you. Because eventually, where we're at, this season will pass. We're already moving very steadily in the real estate market. And just for you guys, maybe you didn't know, we shot some footage the other day, and you may see it on social media and some different places. Real estate is an essential business. Not everybody knows that. A lot of people, I had a call the other day, and they weren't sure that you could meet with them or talk to them about possibly buying and selling. I mean, people relocate, people have to move, leasing, we're leasing apartments, things like that. So I want you to know that real estate is an essential business, and we're here to help you. Our office has multiple approaches to help you throughout that process. If you go to my website at ryancoleman.org, we have a scheduled appointment, and we've got multiple ways to meet with you for now during this interim season, what we've got going on. We have our Zoom conferencing that we're meeting everything virtual. We can come by and look at your property, and we still have a lot of options out there. So I want you guys to rest assured that we're still doing business, and we're here to help you through this process. I do deal with a lot of seniors, and we help them throughout that process. So sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking of where to start. I know our office is doing all the protocols, all the safety measures, masks, all those different things that are a must in today's environment. But we're concerned about not only for yourself, but keeping you and your family utmost first priority. Safety is number one for us. So we're doing all those things and so much more. Let's talk a little bit about new construction and that process. I've got some news today to kind of start out the program. As you guys know, that just came out that the SBA or the Small Business Administration loans came out and they're running out of money. Not a surprise to me. Knew it was coming. I always told April, I said, well, you never think you're going to get anything from the government, did you? And she said, well, we were hoping, but yeah, who knows? We'll get into politics games. They'll go back and forth, and it's kind of a sad time that you get into politics about the American people. A lot of people need this money for businesses moving forward. A lot of people are working with their employees and doing things like that. So it really is sad, but nothing surprising you. You guys watch the news all the time, and everything that comes out is Sometimes it just doesn't surprise us. But what we have to do is move forward and stay the steadfast course, and that's what we're doing here at Hometown Realty. Whether the government brings a check in or it doesn't, it ain't going to affect us one way or another. We're out here focusing on helping, serving people, and through this process. Want to go over, let's see, what else is go over? Some interest rates today. The mortgage market is a little bit all over the place, but let's see. Do we have those rates? Maybe we'll go into those rates on the second part of the show. I'll go over some mortgage rates on the second half of the show. Haven't really changed a whole lot from last week, but they have went down just a little bit. I was talking to Chris before we did our show over at Gateway Mortgage. He said, Ryan, in my lifetime, I've never seen interest rates as low as this. So keep this mindful if you're thinking about purchasing here in the next couple months or by the end of 2020. There's lower inventory, but we're going to probably see a surge of inventory come on the market here in the next 60 days. It's that season anyway. I think it's going to be deferred here towards the middle of summer, okay? And then the rates are extremely, extremely low. So now I know one of my agents is working with the client. They just leveraged how much more they could buy and get that much more of a home. So they were focusing on that forever home. Now they can qualify for so much more and keep their payments where they need to be. Those are great opportunities. Everything else is going to be worked out, but I want to keep that in mind. And then in the market as a seller, having that opportunity to be on the market where there is less inventory as other states across the U.S., East Tennessee really has lower inventory, so I think it's a strong advantage. We're seeing some of the stuff in the lower price range, even mid-range, move dramatically, multiple offers. I think we had 4 showings just yesterday on a brand new listing that we listed in Farragut. So I thought that was pretty phenomenal and probably expect to have an offer in a week, and that's in the mid-350s, so that's promising. Okay, let's get into the show. Let's talk about new constructions, the myth between buying, selling, and do I get a better deal on new construction and the idea of that? Well, new construction as a whole has always been an option out there, and having that opportunity, there's something exciting about a new construction home. Just the glamour, kind of like when you go to the new car. It has that new smell, or in the marketplace that we have today, understanding the difference between new construction and maybe not finding the inventory of what you're looking for. With new construction, the one of the challenges that we find is the time frame. So right now we have a lot of subdivisions that are out there, and those subdivisions, some of them are already pre-sold. So one of the challenges the buyers have to understand is what that home's going to look like, the finished product. And some of the new construction, the old saying that they have something called the resales or properties that are spec built. Well, those spec built homes are there, but if you're going to go new, you may want to add all those features. You may want to change out the granite countertops. You may want to go with different cabinets. Maybe you've got a design theme in the master. Maybe you don't use a garden tub or a jacuzzi tub, but you want an opportunity to do what? Expand that shower, have the tile, multiple heads, and all that, but you're not willing to make those changes during an existing plan. So all those come into play. We're going to talk about now as we're moving to 2020 towards the mid part, halfway in the year, what is the new construction market going to look like? Is that a valuable option? I would say now, one of the challenges for new construction is if you're looking at a resale home and you're looking at new construction, now is a price point. Historically, across the years in the real estate industry, they do something called price per square foot. Basically, the home divided by the square footage is going to be your price per square foot. A lot of our properties that are in the MLS and homes out there for sale, they have the land included. Builders, when they build new construction, they look at the price per square foot to build. But when we sell them, it's price per square foot on the resale market. So it's a different look. But price per square foot as a whole, we've seen some of the properties in the Knoxville, East Tennessee market actually go way above 200, 300, 400 a foot. We've got stuff that we're selling condos $600 a foot. Yeah, it's outrageous. But there's a power of it. And the challenge, what I'm hearing from our builders, is Ryan, that because the market is so competitive, that the subcontractors are so busy that a normal job that would be $3,500, let's say for a lighting job, is now double. So, well, as all good things happen, where does that cost usually pass on to? Well, it passes on to you, the consumer. So the builder, what used to could build the property for $115 a foot, now has been at $175, $185 a foot. So you have to look at that in the budget, even with the interest rates challenging and going down. It may cost you affordability. Look, we're coming on a break. Stay with us. We'll talk more about new construction here in a minute.
When it comes to the real estate market, turn to the experts that focus on you. With over 20 years experience, Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty knows what it takes. It's the right marketing. It's the right exposure. Ryan and April will use their expertise each step as they guide you through the home buying and selling process. Ultimately, it's about results.
You need someone you can trust that is committed to you.
You have a lot of choices, but the choice is simple. It's Hometown Realty.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, ma'am.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty.
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taken too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, thanks for tuning back into Real Estate with Ryan. If you caught me before the break, we were talking about a little new construction, what you need to do to whether buy new construction, possibly resale. What's the better option? I don't know. We're talking about what the cost is per square foot, how high it is, and those are some of the challenges that you're going to experience buying new construction and some of the myths. I think, one of the biggest things when you start this process is you need an agent that has experience. We always talk about it. I mean, there's, having a great agent in your corner is a difference maker. Not all agents are the same. Trust me, with any trade, any profession, you need somebody that will go the extra mile, that, it's just not another sale, not another deal. It's a big purchase, and you have somebody in your corner that really makes the difference in the experience to dealing new construction. It was a challenge for me and my wife. When we purchased, we had the opportunity to look at several resales and looking at an opportunity of new construction. We ultimately purchased in Hardin Valley, but we had some of those same experiences working with the builder, especially when you have the larger builder, some of the challenges. I think one of the biggest challenges working with new construction is probably in a market that's pretty healthy, the inflexibility with most of the builders. Unless you do a custom build, which is ultra expensive, there's some kind of modification or track build regarding what's going on. You've got several different subdivisions and several different communities that are around here. And so I think one of the biggest challenges I would say is when you go new construction, make sure, number one, that you understand that pricing is important, but there is flexibility regarding the marketplace. So that flexibility in the marketplace, assuming that you can't negotiate with the builder, is just not true. They can negotiate on price, lot lines, fees. A lot of these tract builders have an opportunity in knowing that if you use their lender, if you use their title company, if you do A, B, and C, we'll give you a discount. A lot of times, if you use your own vendor, if you have your own closing company, if you have these opportunities, there's an option for the discount. The challenge with that in that discount is, still, does it make sense for you in the process? Now, choosing a lender during this process is huge, because new construction, there's one of two ways you can go. So number one, if we do a new construction, you could do a perm loan and let the builder, you can take on some of that financing responsibility, right? That financial responsibility that you're doing the loan in stages. Now, one of those possibilities with that is you have a little bit more control on budgeting and micromanaging the new construction job. Most of the transactions that we're doing now has just an in loan. And what that means is that the builder is responsible for doing the whole transaction, financing it, managing the whole subs. And what you're going to do at the very end is do a regular conventional loan that you would do on a resale. And most of the time, financing-wise, that makes sense. Although there is opportunities with the construction perm, smaller builder, where you can have a fixed cost, right? Fixed cost to build a house that really makes the difference. So also with the new construction, one thing I want you to think about is we can kind of get into the add the features, add benefits, right? Add those opportunities, but make sure that you don't over budget or don't under budget, right? With those opportunities, because before you know it, you're going to purchase 350, 400, and it goes up to 450. And it can be very, very easy with new construction. So make sure that you allow the appropriate budget when you're going into new construction. How about contingencies with new construction? One of the biggest things that we deal with is, can I do a home inspection on a new construction home? The answer is yes. Well, Ryan, do we recommend it? Is that something that you would do? Well, I'd like to say that all builders are not equal, and that is true. So whether you have a tract builder that's been around for years or a builder that's here in the area, the builders, unfortunately, things are missed. Things happen, not by purpose. And then sometimes in this market, they're trying to get to the next deal as quick as they can. They're trying to build it as quickly as they can. So sometimes things get missed. As a buyer, it's very, very important. We're working with some great clients now, recommending the inspection. They're so glad that they did. The inspection really looks for structural things and opportunities that framing, electrical, plumbing, and the main thing is foundation and grade. I can tell you one of the biggest things we come across in new construction is that opportunity on the grade and with the laying of the water on the lot, having that taken care of. The one we purchased, if we didn't have that done, we didn't have the proper grade, we would have a lot of water issues. The actual subdivision that we're in has had tremendous pushback by a lot of the neighbors. The builders put everything in, they were rushed to put it in, and before you know it, in the back, you have a river running through the backyard. So important that you have the proper grade and that water is falling off the back of your foundation with the proper grade. If not, causes real issues with foundations. If it's on a slab, if it's in a crawl space, these things, water can destroy a home. Very, very important. So I really think a home inspection is just a given. Now, when you do those home inspections, keep in mind that you're going to do them halfway during the framing and at the very end, okay? Now, keep in mind that just because the lender says, or the builder's rep says that you can't, that does not mean that. I would always have an inspection. Now, new construction has some opportunity for health risk. Well, one of the things that we did, unfortunately, radon is prevalent in this area. And so you really don't know until you get things built up. Make sure you have a contingency for radon. A lot of the bigger builders are factoring in for radon. They already have the framing and the systems there in case something comes up. But make sure. That's an important question to ask. Another question is timing. I have a home, Ryan, in the market now. I need to sell that. But the way that we've been going, things have been moving fairly quickly. I don't know where we'll be here in the next few months, but in my marketplace, we expect that the home should be sold in a reasonable time fairly quickly. What do? Will the builder take a contingency? That's a great question. The reality is builders will, if your home is priced with an agent, take a listing that's contingent upon that closing. Contingent upon that closing as long as you can qualify for both, or the likelihood that your property is in an area and a price that makes sense. Now, they will require that the property is on the market in a certain amount of time. Next question is, so Ryan, if I go for sale by owner or if I do it a different route, will the builder work with me? That's a case-by-case basis. More than likely, the builders are going to be spending a lot of money to make sure that they're going to build a property from start to finish. You're going to have a lot of changes, a lot of modifications. I strongly urge you to work with an agent because not only the deal is done easier with the builder, but you to make sure you're not leaving any money on the table and you don't have to worry about timing when you're going right from your existing home, hopefully moving in right into your brand new home. Warranties are a big issue. So we say warranties, not all warranties are created the same. Check with your builder on warranties. Every builder is different. I know in the state of Tennessee, we have a 1-year standard builder warranty. Now, one of my clients said, well, Ryan, isn't that standard that every builder has a 10-year warranty, two or 3 years on structure, 7 years on mechanical? I said, no, that's not true. We have a lot of builders that are, maybe smaller builders that don't have those huge warranties. So check those warranties, get those in writing. The great news about the warranty information, even if that builder does not have a plan, we have the opportunity for home warranties for those builders for 5-year, 10 years that we can factor in the deal. We can even get the seller to hopefully pay that if that builder does not have a warranty. Always check with the builder's reputation, especially now when the market has a little bit of volatility. Is that builder here in the community, or are they an out-of-state builder that has just come to Knoxville to kind of throw up some homes, and now things are a little bit difficult, and maybe will they be here to answer your calls? I mean, those are important things. One of the biggest issues that we have is callbacks, kind of your punch list, right? Well, the biggest concern is the builder wants to get you ready to close right away. And one of our biggest issues is working with the builder's lender, and with them working coordination, not looking out for our client, not looking out for you guys. And so what happens is you use the builder's agent, the builder's warranty, the builder's lender, and their title company. And before you know it, we've seen these nightmares in our neighborhood. The sod is not even down. They're not even ready to finish their punch list, but because of the contract you signed, it's so one-sided that there's no protection for you when you come down to closing. We don't want that experience. We want a happy experience. That's why you've got to have a great agent in your corner walking you through this. We've been in business over 21 years. We've seen it. We've seen good markets. We've seen down markets. We've come out of the 08 to 012 market. We've been there. We've seen it a time or two. So we know what to do to help you. I thank you so much for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next week. As always, you can reach me at 693-SOLD or at ryancoleman.org. Have a great Saturday. We'll see you next week.